placate C, but the answer should be Ohio State. You look at what Ohio State's doing as far as producing superstars in the secondary, unlike almost any other time in school history. But that's a solid list. Iowa, maybe some linemen. Not a lot of stars.
Who's the last star that came out of Iowa?
It's a bunch of offensive linemen. A bunch of great offensive linemen, but nobody that touches the ball. No great. What up, C?
Jenna, that was a great question. We don't have an answer.
No, just for once, I wanted the roles to be reversed.
Yeah,
it felt good to be on this side of that one.
They're pretty vanilla with it.
Love the honesty. We're going to get to Patty Mahomes in a second, but first, college hoops, Wisconsin, Green Bay's Shanquan Hemphill drives down the lane for a nasty one-handed dunk.
I didn't see this game last time. I'm not going to lie to you, America. The first time I'm seeing this. Go get it, Shanquan.
That's one of my favorite courts. There and in Milwaukee. You see how they have the trees and everything printed into the court and everything? They got some, you guys know, I watch all different aspects of the video.
Duke and Auburn, watch this one. See Jared Harper up to Anthony McLemore for the alley-oop right over Zion.
Zion went to, he almost got it.
Yeah, he was a little late.
Little late.
Now, this was a more contested game than I thought.
Yes.
You know, late into the game, Auburn, Bruce Pearl does a great job there.
Later in the game, Zion gets revenge. Harper goes for the dunk. It does not end well for him.
No. Zion got a dunk-like burst on this block. On the previous block, he didn't get off the ground like we're used to seeing him. This one, he did. Glassed it.
It's really exciting to watch him play every game. I mean, he's going to do something offensively or defensively. You're like, did he just really do that? Is that guy 280 pounds? Yes, he is.
And he had it, like you mentioned, Duke didn't blow him out, and he had a quiet game, just 13 points. Those are probably directly correlated.
Back to Monday night's epic showdown. Yes, the Chiefs lost, but yes, the Chiefs won because of number 15. Second-year quarterback Patrick Mahomes is putting together an MVP-caliber season, leading the league in passing yards and touchdowns and smashing Chiefs records in the process, even gaining praise from his opponents with Jared Goff saying Mahomes is the toughest guy in the NFL to defend right now, including Drew Brees. Nick, is Goff right about Mahomes?
Because of how he phrased it, he didn't say he's the best quarterback. He didn't even say he's playing the best. He said he's the toughest guy to defend. And in that regard, I think he's absolutely right. Nobody this year has taken more shots downfield and been more successful on those shots downfield than Patrick Mahomes. He's doing it while having a completion percentage right around 70%, which if it weren't in the era of Drew Brees right around 80%, we'd be talking about how remarkable that is. When you also incorporate the fact that when you're defending Patrick Mahomes, you're not doing it in a vacuum. You're doing it where you've got superstars all around the field. I would say he's absolutely correct that the different things Mahomes can do in the pocket, out of the pocket, against the blitz, not against the blitz, deep, short, and intermediate, makes him the toughest quarterback to defend, which, again, is a different discussion than who's the best or who's playing the best as far as the most different looks they can give you on film, the most different things you have to be prepared for. I think Jared Goff is absolutely right.
How much of that is because teams are still getting to know Patrick Mahomes, and how much of that is because this guy is something special?
It's a combination of both. Typically, when you see a star player and a future star, there's a lot of things have to come together. And Andy Reid and how he treated last season after they drafted him, they moved up in the draft to get him, a lot like some other teams did. He didn't jump the gun and put him in the first year. He had him sit behind Alex Smith. And the way Alex was able to handle him, that it took a lot of pressure off him. He was able to sit around, be around the NFL, and not take all those hits and really, really learn. And by the way, he is a really, really special talent. So Andy Reid's ability to be patient with him with this organization, the type of talent he was able to collect around him. So when Patty Mahomes got under center, he was with the NFL's leading rusher in Kareem Hunt. So forget about the team speed. Potentially have the best tight end in Kelsey. So how they do things and how they orchestrate things, the table has been set for him to be very, very successful in the beginning stages of his career. So that danger part is who's at the range with him, who's coaching him, what type of formations are they using, how are they attacking, and now ultimately how is he performing. And even under duress, we have seen him. If you do blitz him, he can run out of the pocket. So, and he is throwing the ball down the field. This is no dink and dunk offense. So I can understand what he was saying as far as the most dangerous right now in the league. Drew Brees is playing great. He has less weapons than Patty Mahomes has there in Kansas City. So it has nothing to do with playing well right now either. It's the danger and how much information you have to consume to try to stop them.
And you mentioned, you know, how much of it is that he's new, so to speak. And we've seen a lot of quarterbacks that have an awesome first month. Coach Mangini talks about this all the time. And then once you get 4 to 5 games of film on them, you see what they can't do. They make them do what they can't do. So Pat Mahomes in his first month, before Drew Brees really popped, when Pat Mahomes was the leading MVP guy, in his first 5 games of football, 302 yards a game, 14 touchdowns, 2 picks, a 113 rating. In the last 6 games since, 350 yards per game, 23 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, and a 122 rating. So the interception numbers have gone up in the second half of this season, but the touchdown numbers, the yards, the completion percentage, and the rating have all gone up as well. He's ratcheted his game up as defenses have gotten more accustomed to what he wants to do.
Can we just revisit something we haven't since the first week? Why is Patrick Mahomes so good? What is it about him that other teams are having such a hard time with? What does he do that other guys don't do?
Well, it's not only the scheme that Andy Reid's putting him in. He's got tremendous arm talent. He can throw the ball from a lot of different arm angles. Well, people say, well, what's the difference and what's the ability to be able to do that? Most people cannot throw the ball accurately from one arm angle, let alone different arm angles, meaning if you change your arm angle, you're going to be less consistent throwing it. Because he has thrown the baseball and because he's played some shortstop and pitcher, he has developed an uncanny ability, even better than Brett Favre. Brett Favre could throw at some different arm angles, but Brett Favre going to throw that to everyone.
Yeah,
I mean, he's going to throw it to the other team also. So it's very, very rare that we're seeing guys able to duplicate the type of spin, velocity on the football and be accurate with the football where he's changing. Sometimes I'm coming over the top, sometimes I'm dropping down, and his ability to take advantage of the defense, if you blitz him and you pressure him and throwing the ball deep down the field, that ability right there is pretty special. So one thing, there's no test for it, and I said all those other attributes, but man, he's a gamer. Like you turn the lights on, and there's some guys, they just have it, and there are other guys, they just don't have it. And Patty Mahomes, to me, like a lot of other young quarterbacks who we said, Carson Wentz, we believe that he had Deshaun Watson, he's got it. And we believe Patty Mahomes has got it, and he's got a great supporting cast.
Explain to the audience why a guy would want to change arm angle. Like, what are the circumstances in which you just explained why it's impressive that he can do it, but explain to the audience why a guy would need to do that.
Patty Mahomes is comfortable. And sometimes when you're throwing the ball through these windows, the offensive lineman, when you're not 6'5", there's windows between the linemen and between their hands that if you go conventional over the top, that ball will get batted down. And sometimes you have linemen, you're trying to throw around them. So there are a few guys that are able to do. Aaron Rodgers does it on occasion. Steve Young did it on occasions. There are guys that can do it. Aaron Rodgers, he has that ability because he also has the arm strength to be able to do it. So you have to have not only ability to be able to confident you can do it, but you got to have a strong arm to be able to do it.
And real quick, just for one other thing, because it's odd to hear a quarterback say, this is what I'm seeing from this quarterback, because he's obviously not a defense player watching film. You were saying before the show that sometimes even as offensive players, you would watch other offenses to see things you guys could duplicate, you could steal. So there might actually be times that the Rams and Jared Goff have been watching the Chiefs offense to try to take some things from them?
Yeah, a lot of times we would watch film of Washington Redskins and Joe Gibbs and what they did with their bunch formations and their big receiver groupings. And then also when Peyton Manning, when he came into the league, especially with Tom Moore, you duplicate, you should see what kind of personnel do I have? And there's a lot of people, especially like the Rams, Jared Goff, they try to duplicate. Who's the most similar as far as personnel? That would be Kansas City. And Sean McVay, Andy Reid, all these coaches, they look at other people and what they do. And man, how can I duplicate that? Do I have guys who can do that? And you plug that into your system. So I believe, yes, Jared Goff has seen a lot of Kansas City, what we call cut-ups of the plays that they've run, because there's some overlap to both teams and what they're running offensively.
Didn't Goff and Mahomes' dad both play baseball?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
they mentioned that.
Yeah.
Goff's dad was a pitcher, I think.
Yeah.
And Mahomes was a pitcher.
Yeah, he had a short stint in trying. He tried to be a major leaguer. I don't think he had a long career.
He's probably
ultimately
making it
being
in
a
the NFL.
firefighter.
There you go. All right, coming up, will LeBron's return to Cleveland tonight prove that the Cavs took him for granted? It's an interesting debate next on